The WBC has stripped Terence Crawford, not because he didn't want to fight his mandatories, but instead because he didn't pay his fees. Now, him being stripped really isn't surprising. I'm sure he'll be stripped from other titles eventually, but we all knew that Bud wasn't really going to go further at 168. He beat Canelo for all the belts, but who else is there for Crawford to beat at 168? There's a lot of rumors, talks that he would bump down to 160, a new challenge, a new division for him, and take all the belts there. Something that he could actually do. But besides that, we also know that he's pretty inactive. We know that Terence Crawford only fights once a year for the past 4 or 5 years now. I call him Terence Santa Claus Crawford, only comes around once a year. Still a great boxer, pound for pound #1 probably, of course, but he's inactive and there's really not much for him to fight at 168. Him getting stripped, I think, is the best thing for boxing. But a lot of people are complaining about the fees part. Wow, why should Terence Crawford, why should a champion have to pay to hold a belt, to be a champion? They got it wrong. Fees have always existed in boxing. They always did, since Ali, even before that. And if anybody should know that, it's Terence Crawford, right? He has more titles than 90% of boxers in history, right? Undisputed at 140, undisputed at 147, undisputed at 168, lightweight champion, right? Also, don't forget the light middleweight champion. So what is he, a 5-division champion? If anybody knows about fees, it's him. He knows that. It's not like he's a first-time WBC champion. He won the WBC title at 140 and 147. If anybody knows about fees, it's Terence Crawford. Why is he complaining now? Here's a video of him in his car complaining, acting like the WBC is out to get him.
Say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? They ain't gonna tell me I ain't even apologize. Like, who the fuck you think I am? Well, you better slap your fucking self. Ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any other sanction body?
Here's the thing. This is how sanctioning bodies make their money. They're independent. They're not like the MLB, the NBA, the NFL, the UFC, for that matter, right? Where they're making money off TV deals, sponsorships, tickets from the fans watching in person, viewership from pay-per-views and on TV. They're not making money that way. Those leagues, they're making money from the ground up for years, decades in their own establishment, all right? They have a million ways to make money. These sanctioning bodies, whether it's the WBC, IBF, WBO, WBA, IBO, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to think of, any sanctioning body, they're independent, right? The only way really for them to make money is by charging a small percentage, it's usually 3%, for the fighters to sanction their fights. That's how it's always been. These belts don't grow on trees. I mean, how else do you think these belts are made? How else do you think these rankings go? This isn't all for free. This is business. And the WBC, while it's not the oldest, it's not the most historic, it's popular for a reason. Usually it's the ring title and the WBC are the two main popular belts, right? Everybody loves that historic green belt. It's a beautiful belt, the nicest belt, maybe that in the ring in boxing. And it's nice for a reason. It's popular for a reason. On top of that, the WBC does a lot of other stuff, right? They donate to charity. They help out former boxers. They're really popular in the lower weight divisions compared to other sanctioning bodies. And I'm not trying to be no speaker for the WBC, you know, a fanboy of the WBC. I'm just keeping it real why the WBC charges and why they're strict. They're popular for a reason. They've been around for decades for a reason. And here's another thing. The WBC actually gave Terence Crawford a discount. It was originally 3%, but they gave him a discount to 0.6%. Terence Crawford made $50 million off that fight against Canelo, all right? And he's going to complain about 3% and then 0.6%? He knows about fees. This isn't no surprise fee. He's what, 38, 39 years old. He's been around the sport for a while, held a lot of belts. Now all of a sudden he's complaining about sanctioning fees. Come on now. But I also kind of want to mention that nobody's really at fault in this situation. Terence Crawford's not at fault for saying, okay, I don't want to pay the fees. Take the belt. WBC is perfectly right to say, pay this fee or we take the belt, just like how he always been. Both are in the right. No one's really in the wrong. But to complain and say that the WBC is out to get Terence Crawford, the WBC's corrupt, how could they do this? When they've been doing this for decades and this is how it's run, that's how they run. It's just mind-boggling. Also, I kind of just feel like this is a push from Turkey in the ring to try to make it seem like these sanctioning bodies are out to get guys like Terence Crawford, to try to get them collapsed. We kind of know the motive of Turkey, Saudi Arabia, the ring over this past year. They're really trying to get rid of these sanctioning bodies, trying to get rid of these promotional companies and form their own boxing. Like, I hope that's not the case. I get it, we have a problem with these 4 belts. I get it. I personally have a problem with the interims, the silvers, the intercontinentals. I only think there should be one belt for each sanctioning body. I like the 4 belts. That's what makes boxing great. People say it ruins boxing. No, I think it makes boxing great. It makes them chase now. Especially now. I think the 4 belt era works better even now because we're seeing fighters trying to collect the belts like Infinity Stones. They're having to fight each other more. Being undisputed, it's a lot more motivating now than it was 20 years ago. Fights are being made to become undisputed. Being undisputed in like the 2000s, the 4 belt era, the early 2000s, wasn't as common. It was Bernard Hopkins, Lennox Lewis, I believe. No, he might have been 3 belt undisputed. No, I think Lennox Lewis was 3 belt. Bernard Hopkins was the first 4 belt undisputed champion. But when we had popular guys like Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, they weren't undisputed. Manny Pacquiao, I don't even think ever unified. Being undisputed is so much more common now. It's a good thing. 4 belts have always been in boxing. All right, WBC is a historic belt. Muhammad Ali won it. George Foreman won it. A lot of popular boxers won the WBC belt. Mike Tyson. Right? So many popular fighters, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and we're just going to get rid of it. And this goes for all sanctioning bodies. I'm not, putting anyone down or up. IBF, WBA, WBO, even though the WBO is new, it's a very historic belt. Terence Crawford should know that because he was the WBO champ for a while at welterweight and lightweight. So all I'm trying to say is, just relax. I get it. We hear, they're trying to rip off the champion. How could they do this to Terence Crawford? This is how it's always been, and that's how it should be for the WBC, right? If you start a sanctioning body, who's paying you? No one's paying the WBC. Especially now, it's even harder for them because Turkey's trying to get rid of them. Turkey's doing everything they can to stop WBC and all the sanctioning bodies. That's what they got to do. They say, all right, you know that this is how it is. You know we agreed to this before you fought. Please pay it. And if not, that's okay. Best of luck for you. But we have to take this belt back and give it to somebody else and let somebody else fight for it. Doesn't mean that you were never a WBC champion. Terence Crawford will always be known as a WBC super middleweight champion. No one's taking that away from him. But going forward, it is, getting taken from him. He can't continue to be the WBC champion. But still, he still became the WBC champion back in September. That's written in history. Compared to leagues like the NFL, the MLB, the NBA, all right? I'm sure MLS and leagues across the entire world where the champions reset every year, right? You have the Eagles and Chiefs. Eagles win the Super Bowl, but the Eagles aren't the Super Bowl champion going forward, right? 2 more teams get to play now the following February. The next year, you have 365 days, 2 new teams are competing for that Super Bowl, and it's continuously going like that forever. For boxing, Terence Crawford could become the WBC champion and be the WBC champion as long as he wants, as long as he's 1, fighting his mandatories, and 2, paying his fees. He can be his champion as long as he wants. It's different. People compare that, right? Like, why doesn't the NFL charge Super Bowl champions? Because NFL makes millions of dollars, billions of dollars in a million other ways. These sanctioned bodies, they can only make it off these fees. So that's all I'm trying to understand. No one's really in the wrong here. People are overreacting. Just look at the history. This is how it's always been. Make sure to leave a like. Comment down below what you guys think of all this, right? Do you think that the sanctioning bodies should be doing this? What are some alternatives for the sanctioning bodies to make money so they don't have to charge the boxers these fees? Let me know down below, guys, and I'd appreciate if you subscribe. Help me get to 25,000 subscribers. I'm out, guys. Peace.